Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that blends history, mystery, and a bit of creepiness, the so-called monsters of Chernobyl. You've probably heard all the wild stories about mutated animals and eerie creatures roaming the abandoned landscapes of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. But how much of that is real, and how much is just a product of our imaginations? Let's explore the myths versus realities surrounding this infamous site. All right, before we get into the monsters, let's take a step back. What exactly happened at Chernobyl? In April 1986, a routine safety test at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine went horribly wrong, resulting in one of the worst nuclear disasters in history. The explosion released massive amounts of radioactive material into the atmosphere, affecting not just the local area, but spreading across Europe. This catastrophe led to an immediate evacuation of nearby residents and created a massive exclusion zone, a no-go area around the plant that's still in place today. But here's where it gets interesting. This zone, initially thought of as a wasteland, has gradually transformed into a unique wildlife sanctuary, teeming with life. As nature took over, the stories of strange mutated creatures began to emerge. So how did all these tales of monsters come about? Well, pop culture really played a huge role. Movies, TV shows, and even video games have taken this concept and run with it, portraying Chernobyl as a kind of horror show with mutated beasts lurking around every corner. Think of films like Chernobyl Diaries or the Stalker video game. They really blew these stories up. But let's clarify something here. The myth of these dramatic creatures doesn't quite hold up against the facts. Yes, many artists and storytellers love to amplify the fear factor, but the reality might not be as horrifying as it sounds. Now, let's talk about what really happened to the local wildlife after the disaster. Studies have shown that while there have been some oddities among the fauna, it's not all green, three-eyed monsters out there. There have been changes in certain animals. For example, some species like the European brown bear and the gray wolf seem to flourish in this abandoned piece of land. Researchers have found a few physical abnormalities, and yes, some animals are showing signs of the effects of radiation. However, most species have shown remarkable resilience, adapting to their new environment in stunning ways. Isn't that fascinating? It's like nature has found a way to bounce back, despite the odds. Speaking of tales, let's chat about urban legends. In the communities around Chernobyl, stories of strange creatures began to circulate almost immediately after the disaster. Locals talked about sighting strange figures and eerie sounds in the dead of night. One popular legend involved a creature often referred to as a chimera, believed to be a mix of various animals affected by radiation. These stories are reflective of human nature. We love a good ghost story, but they also serve to highlight our fears about the unknown, especially when it comes to something as frightening as radiation. Interestingly, Chernobyl now serves as a living laboratory for scientists. It's a rare opportunity to study how wildlife adapts to high radiation levels. Believe it or not, the exclusion zone is home to a diverse range of critters, including rare birds and even some endangered species. While nature is resilient, it's also teaching us valuable lessons about ecology and environmental recovery. Researchers have documented over 300 species of animals that have made the exclusion zone their home, and many are doing surprisingly well. It makes you think about the adaptability of life, doesn't it? So to wrap things up, while the idea of monsters in Chernobyl is captivating, the truth is much more nuanced. There are no giant, horrific mutations lurking in the shadows. Instead, what we see is a unique blend of resilience and adaptation in wildlife. It reminds us that nature can heal, even in the face of disaster. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you found this exploration of Chernobyl's monsters interesting, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more fun insights into history and culture, and drop your thoughts in the comments. What are your favorite myths about Chernobyl? I can't wait to hear from you. Until next time, stay curious.